Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of my SimCity 2013 Let's Play. Uh, in today's episode, we are taking our basic city from last time, and we're going to start filling in some of our city services and doing some road upgrades and a little bit more analysis about what's actually happening in our city. So let's dive right in. One of the first things that I want to check here, down at our bar here, it looks like we have a waste disposal problem and health problem. So I'm going to slow this down a little bit, but first we're going to look at this building density map. Now, as I talked about last time, this tells us how likely these buildings are to want to increase their density value. So a house would be torn down and an apartment building built in its place, for example. And the same thing applies to commercial, residential, and industrial. So we can see on the scale we've got a lot of yellow-green in this area to the right of our main road, and also down in this area. So this means these buildings are getting ready to want to expand, which means our roads are going to need upgrading. So, as you can see, apart from this avenue, I've done everything in dirt roads so far. And long term, that's just not going to work out very well for us. So we're going to need to do some upgrading, especially in these areas that are ready to expand. So grab our upgrading road tool button here, and I'm going to start. Now you have to upgrade the road that the buildings are facing. So, upgrading this road here is not going to affect these houses or these houses. So really, this entire zone, all the roads are going to need upgrading. And that is going to be to medium density streets. So this is going to cost us a fair bit of money, but it should up our density, get us more residents, more tax revenue, and more options later on for revenue generating activities such as the recycling center, the trade depot should come into more play eventually, tourism as well. So this now this is a feature if we look at game design wise. As I said, I want this series to not just be playing for fun, of course we're doing that, but also to critically examine the game as it's designed as we're playing it. What I would prefer is that I could grab the medium density road and paint right over existing roads. Unfortunately, at least, yeah, it does not seem to work that way. Which means I have to select the upgrade tool and upgrade every segment. And, it's picking segments based on where the intersections are, so this can become very tedious to upgrade large areas of your city when you're doing, you're getting ready for your density to increase. This is just, it's a clumsy interface, and I think it would be better if it allowed you to build a medium density road on top of a low density road and essentially replace that other road type. Because as you can see, this is very, very tedious, so we'll cut this out and come back to you when this zone is done here. Editing all this, editing, taking all this out. Okay, we're back. These roads are now fully upgraded to medium density. in this whole zone. I've left the industrial alone for now. I'm just not going to worry about that at this stage. Now that that's going, let's just double check our density map here again, and these guys, yes, are all getting ready to expand. So we should see in short order some new buildings start to go up, some apartment buildings and such. So, garbage. Now, garbage is a big problem. We have garbage everywhere. If we go to our data map and check garbage, look at that. Garbage everywhere. We have not been collecting it or doing anything about garbage. So, now is the time. And here's another kind of interesting to talk about feature of this game. These buildings don't seem to be of standard sizes. They don't seem to be related to these grids. As you can see, this building is slightly narrower than the standard grid, not including the expansion zones that you can see there in red. You know, and so when you're laying out your road design, it's very difficult to tell how much space you're going to need to add these other buildings like this. And as you can see also, this dump will only fit the long way, so its short edge has to be up against a road. So we can't fit it in, you know, sideways like this further down, because the short edge has to be touching the road, not the long edge. So that severely limits the placement that we can have for this thing. So again, what we're going to have to do is, actually we're going to dezone this stuff here, and we are going to blow up some roads. And you know, this is not the best way to plan these things, and I do realize that. This is kind of my intention with this series, is just to play as I go. You know, I've done other experimentation and I can do better planning ahead, but I want to show kind of how this goes, just in a real-time thought process kind of way. So I don't know if everybody's going to find that interesting or helpful, but that's kind of the way I'm going to do things for now. So let's throw that down. And right away we're going to need to upgrade this. We have so much garbage in our city. We are going to need a ton of garbage trucks, I think. So my plan is just going to be to, can I get that? There we go. Probably these are $5,000 a piece. I've got 50% of max. And because I don't really want to, let's check and see if I have room to add another dump zone. I do one and a bunch on this side, but typically what I try and do is add incinerators and leave the garbage as the actual area that it takes up as small as I can. And to facilitate those garbage trucks getting where they need to go, I'm actually going to upgrade this line of roads along here to low density street. That should just help them get where they're going a little bit quicker. So, garbage. Now we did have a health clinic down here, but we have a lot of health issues saying that we're swamped. So let's check here. Clinic is full. So let's jump in here, and we're going to have to add a patient rooms wing. Throw that down. And we're also going to build a second ambulance. Or wambulance, as Corrales would say. So now we're treating 19 out of 25. That really isn't going to cover us too long. But this is our only clinic in the city so far. So I think we're going to probably need a second clinic over here somewhere, maybe in this zone over by our fire station here. I'm going to plop that down right away. And there we go. We're going to edit that. Oops. Edit that and throw down, same deal as before, oops, at least a couple of ambulances. So now that we'll be hiring soon here. And we kind of hit opposite corners of the city, so that should give us fairly decent coverage. And look, our medium density is maybe starting to take an effect. I'm going to speed this up a little bit and we'll see what pops up here. You know, the lowest density kind of starts out as trailers, it looks like, for the most part. We do get houses eventually at low density, and maybe you can see over here next to the school we have some actual houses. Down in this area, what are we going to get? Looks like we're getting houses still. So land value is good for medium wealth sims, it looks like. So that's a good sign. Of course, this area over here is going to be terrible, right next to the dump and the power plant and some industrial areas. This is not going to be real popular for now, but alright, let's check our education now. We've got an alert there, and I'm guessing we're at capacity again, so let's jump back to our school. Yep, 350 out of 350 students, so let's throw a top floor classroom. That's going to cost us 10 grand. We've got plenty of money. Now, increased by 200 students, so let's check here. Now our total is 550, so hopefully that's enough there. And school bus stops, of course. We've got a gap over here. Throw those in. And they love it. The Sims love it. Alright. So what else do we have to do here? I think we're going to take a cut here and let things develop a little bit and see where we're at. Okay guys, we are back and we have an issue. Our power advisor here tells us that our coal power plant is low on coal and therefore making less power. So by default, this accept global coal deliveries is turned off. We're only accepting local coal deliveries. So by checking this, it means we will buy, I believe this is 6,000 simoleons per month. We will buy from the global market, which is essentially just meaning we will buy it from the computer, the coal that we need for that price. Excuse me. But as I showed you earlier on, we actually have some coal deposits in our city. So I am going to set up a little bit of coal industry here and extract some of this, and we will see if we can get our power to be self-sustaining. So it looks like this would be a good area. You know, this is all zoned already with buildings, so let's try and go for this area up here. Oops, and let's close out of this data view, and let's just drag this road out. Let's just bring it all the way, actually. And let's go into our city specialization and our, would that be mining, presumably? Ore mine, coal mine. There we go. Alright, and we are not rich enough to do that yet. That's going to cost 22,000. So we're still doing okay for our budget. And, you know, if we build this coal mine, we will also be able to avoid having to buy coal from the market, so that will save us a little bit of money. So I think that is probably well worth spending our money on. We will have to wait a short bit, it looks like, until we 22. There we go. We have enough. We'll be broke, but you know what? That's okay. We can handle it. Alright. Now, I don't know how close I have to be to the coal. I guess this will be an experiment. I'm going to slap this down right here. And let's go in here and edit and see what we do. So what do we got? We've got a sign, we've got delivery truck garage, and that will deliver coal from the mine to power plants, trade depot, etc. And then a coal shaft. So that will increase the extraction rate, and that would go. Looks like we only have two places to put it. Now we might be able to put these in a chain. So we'll have to experiment with that later. That's going to cost us 14 grand. So for now, we're going to have to wait until tomorrow, it looks like, for morning for that to open up. In the meantime, we did buy some coal from the market. It looks like we're back up to a bunch of coal in the coffers, as it were, as you could say. So I'm thinking I will uncheck accept global coal deliveries now, because this thing should start pumping out coal pretty quick here. Let's check our, actually, let me get back to city view. We taught 350 students yesterday out of 550, so we're still doing okay there. Yeah, roads, traffic, of course it's the middle of the night, but traffic looks okay so far. And now that morning is breaking, we will see that traffic get going a little bit, I think. It looks like our density is not increasing just yet. We're getting a few more houses here. But our total density is not really going up. And I don't think we can look and see like how many Sims are actually in this house as opposed to another house. It doesn't look like it, but let's look at our trade depot. Okay, we've got a lot of freight going into this thing. It looked like it was maxed out by morning, so we're going to add another freight warehouse to there. That should just help us in the future. Let's see how this coal mine is doing. 1.8 tons per day. So we should be okay with that to feed our power plant. I think that will be alright, because this can only hold 20 tons. We're burning 4.3 tons a day, so if we can match at least 4.3 tons a day, then we'll be good there. So this may just have to ramp up a little bit. If not, we'll put down another mine shaft to help with that. Yeah, so I'm going to cut here. We're going to let the city develop a little bit, and we'll be back. Hey guys, we're back for the last little segment of this episode, I think. We have our first apartment building, our first medium density residential. So we can see here density is now creeping up, going to approach the high density zone over time. Our land value is still low, and we can see that they're wondering about shopping in this town also. We can check here. Well, now right around the corner they're a great place to shop. So this is another issue that I've noticed with the game, is that Sims do not always report accurately what's going on in the city. This apartment doesn't seem to be able to find any shopping, but this house right around the corner seems to be able to find shopping, no problem, and that's actually increasing their happiness. I've had situations where people right next to some commercial zones can't find the shopping either. So this can be unintuitive, and I'm sure this is just the way that the sim agents are moving around the city. They are not moving around as if they were actual people. They're actually pretty stupid simulated agents. That their pathfinding is not what you would expect. It's not. They don't pathfind in a very human way. So that's, I think, just a consequence of how these agents work that we will just have to learn over time as we play this game. And look at that. We have a tornado. Look at that. It's just, oh man, sucking up buildings. And is it going to tear up this brand new building? I don't know. Leaving some rubble. Oh, it might just go right off the end of the map. Oh, there we go. Saved. Whew. Tornado touches down. Alright, we do have some rubble to clear now, though. Bulldoze some of this stuff. Bulldoze, okay. Another thing I've noticed, the disasters in this game, and now this is just, a matter of opinion, I think, they don't seem to be very damaging. They don't really seem to do a whole lot. They're certainly cool to look at and fun, but they don't really have seemingly a big big impact on the game. Now, like I said, some people may really like that. For me, I wish it did a little bit more. It's not very difficult to rebuild parts of your city, and so those disasters would be a little more interesting if they did some more damage. But all right, it looks like we are getting some medium density developing in here. So I think our next step will be to check the density on the other side of the city. It looks like we've got some good green over here, so we should start upgrading the roads over there. But I think we will have to wait for next time to do that. We're out of time for today. But thank you very much for watching. I hope this was enjoyable and gave a little bit of information on some of these features. As we go forward, hopefully we'll get more in depth as to what's going on kind of behind the scenes, try and figure that out, try and sleuth out what the game is doing so we can play more efficiently. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you'd like, please check out some of my other videos. I also do Minecraft and some other things, including a fun series on storytelling in video games. So if you did enjoy, please comment, leave some feedback. I'm always looking for constructive feedback. And if you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe, and that'll help me keep doing this and getting better at it. So I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next time.